Hello and welcome to Stevie Time. I'm going to show you how to work out how to play the song by ear. If you require subtitles or you struggle to understand my accent, which I am aware is quite a thick Yorkshire accent that can be hard to understand at times, and it's available for you. In this video I'm going to show you how I tend to figure out how to play a song using my ear. This can be used to figure out literally any song from the 50s through to present day, as long as we know the major scale box pattern, which I will show you shortly. So before we start, we need to figure out what key the song is actually in. Now, maybe we've been playing long enough that we simply recognise the first chord. Maybe we've heard from another person what key a particular song is in. Or maybe a friend played it to us and we know the key or the first chord of the song, but we can't remember the rest of the chords. So this is a box pattern we need to be familiar with. So what I tend to do first is listen to the start of the song, strike the E string and just move up the fretboard until I hear a note that sounds in tune. Sometimes it will take a few restarts of the song until we find that first note. Once we have that first note, then I will repeatedly play the major scale over that chord sequence. Should it all sound correct, then I write down the first note. In this example, it's C major. So using the pattern whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Right, C. Then we move a whole step, 2 frets, to D, whole step, to E, a half step to F, and so on, giving us G, A, B, and back to C to finish off. Instead of one string, we use the box pattern. Once we know this, then we need to figure out what chords are major, what chords minor. The first, fourth and fifth notes are major, the second, third and sixth notes are minor, the seventh is diminished. So then we have our chords, and we just need to know which one is played when. Just to add, the sixth note of the major scale is known as the relative minor. Most solos are in the relative minor of the key the song is being played in. So if you know the pentatonic scale's 5 box patterns, you can figure out most solos to most popular music, especially as those minor pentatonic box patterns are the same as the major pentatonic box patterns. So when you know 2 scaled fretboard positions, and these are the same for any key. All that is different is the root note, and that determines the position of the box pattern. For example, A minor pentatonic's box pattern 1 is the same as C major pentatonic box pattern 1, which I'll demonstrate. A minor pentatonic. C major pentatonic. Same pattern, different root notes. So the first song we'll figure out using this method is Buddy Holly and the Crickets' bouncing rock and roll classic Oh Boy. So first off we need to find the first note. So we found the first note, in this case A. Now we'll test the box pattern across the chord progression and then we'll figure out the chords. All of my love, all of my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing. I'm going home, home, of that sounded out of tune. So the chords in this case are A, D and E. This chord progression is commonly known as a 1-4-5 progression, and you'll find that a lot of songs tend to use this pattern. In this case, the chords are all major. If you remember, the first, fourth and fifth chords of the scale are major.
All my love, all my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing for. Home, and you're looking home, the world to see that you all my life I've been waiting, now there'll be no hesitation no more. Home, and you're looking home, the world to see that you are working for me.
So there you go. Not perfect, but I am just figuring it out. So next we'll give the punk classic a try by trying this against an absolute belter by the Ramones, Blitzkrieg Bob, Blitzkrieg Bop, pardon me. Again, find the root note, test the box pattern, and then we have our gig. In this case it's again A major. The full list of chords in the key of A major are A, B minor, C sharp minor, D, E, F sharp minor, G sharp diminished. So the verse in that is another example of 1-4-5 progression. So let's play along and then we'll see what the middle parts are. Knowing these few details will really help develop your ear by having just that bit of understanding of some music theory. Finally, we'll finish off the video by repeating this process to High and Dry by Radiohead. This one is a little trickier. The first note is F sharp, but it's not major, it's minor. Up to now, all the root chords have been the root note of the scale. So, I'm going to show you a box pattern of this for F sharp, and you'll hear that it's not correct. So, once we've realised this, what do? We simply figure out the other notes and which one's the major. So if it's not the first note, then let's push this to be the second note, which we know is always minor. Then we shift 2 frets down from the F sharp, which is a whole step, to find our first note, which in this instance would be E. And this box pattern works. So now we know it's an E major, F sharp minor the second note, so So that's how, with a slight understanding of the major key, how we can figure out a variety of songs on the guitar, or any instrument such as keyboards, bass, flute, etc. and whatnot. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share, and remember, stay righteous.